Oh, I'm finally able to get to install my two-part foam. It's a wonderful day out, really nice. My little foam compartments dried perfectly, so they're ready to go. They should hold the stuff in fairly nicely. They're not budging at all. I went with the two-part foam from Aero Marine. I called them and explained my issue with this this Home Depot pink stuff to ask and see if it's gonna eat it at all. And he was really helpful in giving me all the information I need and helping me out with my decision to make sure that go with. Now I went with the 2 pound density foam, which is going to give you a lot better flotation than anything that's denser. If you need to go with more of a structural stuff, you need to use a higher pound rating, like an 8 pound, which it doesn't give you as much flotation per cubic foot, but it gives you a very good structural rigidity. What I did last night when we rolled in, I mixed a little bit of it together in a couple of cups and poured it together, and then poured it on this foam to see if it would eat the foam, and it doesn't. This is what my nice little trail of foam here. It actually adheres itself to the foam really well. You can see where I pulled this up. It actually, the foam is attached to it, so it adheres really well. So I guess my idea of making this the compartments out of this foam is going to be really nice. Plus, once it adheres, it's going to keep it nice and tight. You can see this piece right here. It's peeling up itself. It won't peel up the foam. It's actually that. It's that tight to it. So far so good. I've actually went into Home Depot and got these little mixing cups. And what I'm going to do is, because you're supposed to mix that stuff 2-part, which is part A, part B, in equal amounts. And it says or I do believe it was 65 degrees. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour equal amounts in, part A, part B. Then I'm going to have a mixing cup. So I'll start out with just a little bit, pour same parts in here, mix it up. It says to mix it for 30 seconds, and then you have about a minute to work with it. Well, actually get a little less than that, because I mixed it for 30 seconds and stuff's starting to expand. So you got to kind of pour it fast. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with just probably, I don't know, 8 ounces. That'll make 16, which is 1 pint. 1 quart of this stuff makes 2 cubic feet, and I'm afraid that's a little too much. I'm going to start, and you can also do multiple pours with this, which is what John told me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try this out, see exactly how well it works with. I'm going to do 8 ounces, so that with 2 parts together, that'll make 16 ounces. We'll pour it in there real fast, see how much it expands, and then if I can do more, I'll do more. But that'll at least be our starting point. All right, so we have our part A and our part B, and I started with 4 ounces this time. So we'll see exactly how much that yields. You're a little chicken when it came to doing 8 ounces. So pour into here, and it starts the activation. And then I'm going to mix. It says to mix for 30 seconds. You see it kind of turns to a milky. Alright, so I can kind of feel it's starting to sound different. That means it's still not mixed completely. I'm going to keep mixing it, and it's starting to expand. No, it's not starting to expand yet. Yeah, there it goes. It's starting to expand now. So I'm going to just reach up in here, pour it in there just like that.
Stop.
Pour it in here. Scoop all this junk out of here, because I learned that if you leave it in there, it's going to expand and all kind of get all over the place. And I need to use this again to remix. All right, so let that sit for a second. Okay, so it's starting to expand a little bit. Ooh, there it goes. Starting to expand out there, little by little. It says it takes about 10 minutes total, but so we'll see what it does. Okay, so that's what 4 ounces did. Comes all the way forward, about right here. So I don't know, it wasn't a ton, but I was being really conservative. I was scared that this was going to get out of control. So I think I'm going to go with 8 ounces this next time to yield a total of 16 ounces total. See what it does. All right, so I've got 8 ounces in each one of these. So I'm going to mix this up. I'm actually going to go in the back this time. Start around the back and go around this corner with it and see just how high it comes up, because if it gets out of control, it's not that big of a deal back there. I'm not too worried. Well, so far so good. You can see it starting to kind of come up over right there. Can't really see where it is back there. I got myself a couple of pieces of foam just in case it gets out of control. I can kind of do this and keep it from rolling over. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I'm almost halfway through the gallons and I've only done this one side. And so I think I'm gonna need a little bit more. I may have miscalculated, have to order some more. But so far this stuff is super easy to work with, as long as you keep everything separate. What I've done is these are my 2 mixings. I got them labeled part A and part B. And then I've got miscellaneous ones here. What I've done is this one's the first one that I used, and second, third, and fourth, so you can kind of see where I am. So this one's the most dry, so now I can go back and clearing out that one and start using it all over again. And then, you know, basically I'm just rotating through them as I get used to it. But so you can kind of see a little bit there. I got quite a bit more to go on this side, so I'm gonna mix another 8 ounces and then go down right here and see how far it comes up. Starting to get a little nervous, see how much is gonna come up and billow over. But yeah, well, if it does, I'll shave it off. No biggie. I'm just really kind of concerned I didn't order enough. 2 gallons is supposed to yield 8 cubic feet, and from my calculations, this is only supposed to be 3 on either side. So that should be 6 cubic feet. Well, I may have miscalculated a little bit. Maybe I have more. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so got a little overzealous on the back here. I had upped everything to 8 ounces, which would yielded 16 ounces of total liquid. And I was just, you know, kind of blowing and going here, and I poured it over the back end of there, and it got a real big, you know, like puddle section, and it came up over there in a hurry. So I just took my little pink foam and kind of held it over the edge there and kind of helped it. But then I started hearing some popping and cracking coming from in here, and I guess it was pushing out too hard. So but man, I tell you, it is hard as a rock. I mean, it has absolutely stiffened everything up just tremendously. So I still got some voids in here that I'm going to do, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to start mixing in 4 ounce instead, and I'm going to start pouring from back there on the very edge. So on the hull, I'm going to start there instead of pouring against the foam. So what I wanted to do is actually start on the hull and kind of come out. So I'm going to start that, see how that works, and go from there. And actually, I think I've got enough of the stuff. I think I'll be all right. So we'll see. I'm gonna get this one all fully done and completely cured in and see what it looks like. Just want to keep it, just want to try to get up right to the edge but not come over. And that way maybe I can take some pink stuff, cut it, and then go across the top of it and actually encapsulate all that. Who knows? We'll see.